Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to share with you a real simple drill that is going to get you swinging the golf club much quicker. It's exactly something that I do in my game. So what I thought I'd do first of all is I'm going to hit some shots. I'm going to hit kind of half a dozen shots with a range ball on my FlightScope X3, and then I'm going to hit half a dozen shots with a real ball. Okay, because obviously the range ball will fly slightly less, but we're going to have a look at club head speed. I'm going to hit a dozen shots first. You guys can kind of just bear with me, and then we'll have a look at some of the data and I'll talk to you exactly about what it is that you need to be practicing. Three things that I want us to focus on. The first one, which we can start with, is the club head speed. Okay, so the club head speed was, if I can get my fingers to work here, was consistently, well, the average was 101.2. Okay, so consistently over 100 miles per hour with a 7.9. Fine. Now, the next thing I want us to focus on is what's known on our FlightScope as our horizontal swing plane. So this is often known as swing direction. And what we can see again, the average on here was 4.1 left. Okay, so that basically means, and I'll show you this in a moment, if I'm aiming at the target, my general swing direction is moving 4 degrees to the left of that. That's going to play a big role for your distance and club head speed. And then the last one, because it's very easy to start associating if you start swinging left as out to in and slicey. But what we can see here is the average club path was 0.9 right. So I hit those shots really straight, and we can see that because generally speaking the club path was inside a tolerance of about a degree, and obviously if I can control my club path I can get better chance of squaring the club face. And I'm going to share with you exactly now what all of this information means and how you guys can practice it in a really simple way. We've got three things. We've got club head speed, we've got swing direction, and we've got club path. Now the easiest way for you guys to think about this is just to practice doing some swings lead hand only. Okay, now you started to swing the golf club lead hand only, it might look something like this. Okay, that's often what it looks like when I get people in here. They kind of swing it back quite short, they bend their arms, and they hit it like this. But actually you don't have to lose that much club head speed swinging lead hand only. The first thing you've got to do is you've got to really think about lifting your arm up. Yeah, that amazes me how many golfers don't think about that. You know, I'll meet them and they've got to bend in their arm and then they get stuck, and it's like you've got to lift that club up. And once you start telling them the idea they're going to lift it up, it completely transforms the backswing position. So that's number one. That's going to really help your club head speed out, is the consciousness of trying to lift your hand up in the air. That's going to give you that ability to keep the arm straight, give you width, which is massive for your speed. And width basically just means keeping that lead arm straight. Now, what about this swing direction? Well, you imagine throwing a frisbee. If I was going to throw a frisbee towards you guys, what I would do is I'm not just going to kind of let my left arm move off my chest because the frisbee would go over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, and as I rotate I'm going to let go of the frisbee at the correct time so it hopefully goes in the direction where you guys are placed. Now that's where your swing direction comes in, because if you watch my body, see the way it goes very left of where you guys are. Now let me show you that with a couple of alignment sticks just for a moment. So I'm going to place one through my belt loops here, okay, and then I'm going to place one across my shoulders, and I'm going to pretend that I'm throwing the frisbee lead hand only. So it's like this, look. See when I'm letting go of the frisbee, see where my body is going. And if my body rotates like this, it gives me the ability to do a couple of things. One, it gives me the ability to have got my lead arm up in the air, and then it means I can turn, which helps me direct my lead arm's energy down into the floor. Okay, but you can see as I demonstrated then, my body is moving left of the target. If my body was to move to the right of the target, then I'd get stuck, I'd get flicky, and I'd sacrifice all of that club head speed. So, two things. Hopefully we understand, lift your arm up in the air. Fine, number one. hopefully you understand you've got to turn through the ball. That helps you direct your arm with an element of speed, the same as a frisbee analogy. Check, happy with that. Number 3 though, don't those things lend themselves to out to in and swinging across the ball? Well, no, we saw that with my data, and this is where the release comes into it. Now, what you've got to try and do, and I'm going to just show you from this perspective here, when you swing lead hand only, you'll place your hands on the golf club, and what will happen is in the backswing position, your left arm is going to rotate slightly more than it did at address, which basically means my watch face is, on my lead hand, my watch face is pointing up towards the sky. Now, as I start the downswing, I'm going to get this feeling of turning as my arm comes down. It's similar to our frisbee analogy. Now, you can see the way as I do this, I keep the club on plane. So you can see the way my watch face is still pointing up to the sky. And then as I come down, can you see the way it's still pointing up towards the sky? And then it's not until the very last little bit when my watch face would start to move towards the target. Now, if my watch face starts to move down towards the ground like this earlier, that would make me swing out to him. So the scary feeling that you need to have, and what I'm basically trying to say is, with my impact position from face on, I come down and you can see my watch face would be facing towards you guys until the very last moment, and that's when I'm introducing most of my club face rotation to square the face, because what I'm trying to say is if you start rotating your left arm too soon, what will happen is you'll end up swinging out to him, and then you'll get the confidence of more speed, but it will go miles left, and then you can't control the face. So practice doing some lead hand only swings. Okay, and if you do that, first of all, just build up your confidence, just try and get a bit of a coordination and a contact on it first of all, and then start swinging a little bit longer, and then as time goes by, start swinging it longer and moving your chest, and I promise you it will train you exactly what you're supposed to be doing with that lead hand. It'll make a massive difference. See you guys again really soon.